City Tile and Floor Covering is a family business.
I am third generation, so it started with my grandfather, and then my father, and now me.
Andrew Young with City Tile and Floor Covering.
They see these beautiful hardwood floors, and it just makes a stunning statement in people's homes.
Make your house a showplace. Give your house a new face. Make your house a wow house. City Tile and Floor.
City Tile.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues, powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Take control of your account management and energy consumption with the MyMTE app. You can download from the App Store and manage your account. You can also improve your energy habits and much more. MTE, serving to make life better since 1936. Well, it is time to talk this morning with our friends from the United Way of Rutherford and Cannon counties, and we've got Kara Carpenter joining us today, the Director of Engagement and Volunteerism, and big event coming up here very, very soon. We're going to talk about Hometown Huddle. Good morning, Kara.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Glad to have you here. You were just kind of reminiscing that your first interview here about a year ago was this.
It was, and I was here talking about Hometown Huddle, so I guess that makes me a pro now.
Oh, well, I mean, you've been on several times here, so.
I have.
Well, you were a pro the first time, too.
I don't know about that, Brian, but.
So, Hometown Huddle, kind of tell me about that.
Yeah, Hometown Huddle is one of our 4 days of action at the United Way. And for Hometown Huddle, we do a food collection drive, and we pack the food into bags that are delivered to Rutherford and Cannon County schools and Murfreesboro City schools, and then they're distributed to those students who have been identified as food insecure at home. So actually 1 in 6 children live in a food insecure household. And so that means if they're not at school, a lot of times they don't have ready access to food. So the schools identify those students and, do everything they can to make sure they have food at home when they're not at school.
So another way to look at it, think of a classroom of 24 children. You're talking about 4 of those children in that classroom would be food insecure.
Correct. Correct.
So. I don't know that really hits home until you put it into a perspective like 1 in 6. And I think it's something that maybe we take for granted. But I know you all do the backpacks, before school and stuff. So that obviously helps. And this is not necessarily for. Do you kind of put this food together so they can have that on the weekends when they're not in school?
We do. Actually, we worked with representatives with Murfreesboro City and Rutherford County on our timing for this event. We normally have it in October, but, we were having discussions with them after last year's event about what are the best items to put in there, easiest for them, the most nutritious for them. So we came up with a new list, and then also we were talking about the timing of it, and they asked if we could move it earlier this year so they could provide food for those students for fall break. So this year Hometown Huddle is specifically collecting food for those students to have over fall break, because it's a longer period of time than just a weekend. And the school said they were having difficulty between weekends having enough food to make sure everyone had some over fall break. So
well, that is obviously a good way to do that, tackling hunger, and with that big fall break, it's the first week of October, for those of you who are wondering. So you said you had a conversation about what's the best food, and so kind of what are you looking for this?
Basically it's the same sorts of things like you would imagine, like macaroni and cheese, peanut butter, Rice Krispie treats, Pop-Tarts, Jell-O pudding cups. But the big thing we're looking for is that these items are packaged in a way that is easy for the kids to prepare themselves, because making sure cans have a pop top and they don't need a can opener, because some of these students may be living in a hotel or bouncing around from relatives' homes or friends' homes. They may not have ready access to a can opener. Maybe all they have is a microwave, if even that. So individually cans of or servings of macaroni and cheese, as opposed to a box of mac and cheese where they need a pan and a stove
Right.
and to make it.
So that that the microwavable little small individual servings.
Yes.
My 21-year-old daughter's addicted to those things. They have a mega bowl of that too now, by the way, if you wanted to
there
know.
you go.
But
There you go.
Just kind of put yourselves in the shoes of maybe if you go on vacation or go to the beach and you're staying in a condo that really maybe only has a microwave.
Exactly.
That's kind of the food that you would need there.
You have to put yourself in that mindset. So
Yeah.
what's easy for them to open and prepare?
Non-perishable, I'm sure, is a biggie.
Of course, absolutely. Shelf-stable items, for sure.
That's I haven't heard that terminology. So that's
Shelf-stable.
shelf stable. I like that. And this hometown huddle. When did it start? You said it's what how many years for?
Well, it started several years ago, and the original focus of it was to refurbish playgrounds and school property, to come together and do improvements like that.
There was kind of a day of volunteerism and all that kind of thing that went into it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But when the pandemic in 2020, the students weren't at school, and that's when it became very apparent. If those students weren't in school, they didn't have access to food. So in 2020, we refocused what the day of action entailed and took it from a day of volunteerism to a food drive for food for the students to have at home. So this will be the 4th year we've done it in this format.
And boy, how tough was. I don't even like to think. Every time I hear 2020 or the word pandemic, that dun 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 kind of comes into my brain.
There are certain songs that I'm triggered by to this day. It just takes you back to that time.
I know. But I know the school systems worked really hard to try to get even the child bus for the city out, and but there was only so much that could be done. So this is a great way. I'm sure that when these kids get this food, there's also an effort from the school system to do it in a manner that it's not obvious that they're getting this, right?
Exactly. I've talked to my friends at Murfreesboro City and Rutherford County that work with these students, and they'll call them to the office and put it in their backpack discreetly, or they may put them in their lockers, or take them to the their classrooms, and the teachers will make sure they take it home. So
yeah, they've kind of got a good system for all of that. So this year being the 4th year to collect food items and distributing those, you've mentioned some of the food items. I guess we need to kind of think like for fall break, breakfast, lunch, dinner too, right?
Yeah. One item that was specifically requested by our contact at Rutherford County Schools were the Hormel Completes, because it's not only just a starch like a mac and cheese, but it's got a protein and a starch in there, completely microwavable. So they're getting more of a complete dinner meal with that item. So so cereal, shelf-stable milk, Pop-Tarts are, always an easy thing, for a child to prepare. Then peanut butter, granola bars, the mac and cheese, single-serve soups with a pop top, or the ramen in the little styrofoam cups. That's always great. And then tuna packets as well.
Yeah, you think they have that chicken as well. But the soups you mentioned, there's also another way to get a protein in. So if you can find
Correct.
a shelf-stable protein, that always helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've got Kara Carpenter here with United Way, the Director of Engagement and Volunteerism. We're talking about Hometown Huddle. So we collect food. So let's talk about, now that we've talked about the items, which I'm sure you've got on your website too, right?
We do. We do.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll give that here in just a second. So the collecting part, how is that going to work?
Well, it is not too late to sign up, Brian, to be a collection site. If you, your PTA, classrooms or church groups, Sunday school classes, any civic organizations, community groups that you're involved in, you can sign up to be a collection site. So you can go to our website, see the items that we're requesting, collect those, and the collection is going up until September 20th is our last intake day. So just collect those items with your group up until the 20th. And then on Thursday, September 21st, we'll be packing all of the food into bags to be delivered to the school systems.
So you always seem to have these fun sort-a-thons. Will there be a such thing for this?
Of course. Of course. Our intake days. So you can, those collection sites, or, if you just put a few extra things in your cart at the grocery store, you can bring those by to us at Patterson Park Community Center on Tuesday, September 19th and Wednesday, September 20th. And you can drop your items off. We'll sort them, count them, and then on Thursday, the 21st, is when we'll have our sort-a-thon. We have about 50 volunteers, who come, and, we have music, and it is a very fun atmosphere, and everyone, there's such a positive energy because everyone knows they're, helping out, our students in our community.
Sure. So the sort-a-thon, this is at Patterson Park, you said, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. And what happens after you get everything sorted and packed up? I guess then it goes to the two school systems?
Well, our friends at UPS bring trucks, and we pack the big boxes of bags onto the trucks, and one goes to Rutherford County schools, one goes to Murfreesboro City schools, one goes to Cannon County, and then the school systems will distribute them as they need to.
Okay. And obviously by doing this on the, the 21st, that gives you enough time to get that to the school systems for the first week of October.
Correct.
Okay.
It does.
Awesome stuff. So let's, sorry. We had our EAS go off there, so emergency alert test. So just to kind of go back, the items are going to be sorted, placed together, and that is going to be on September 21st, 9 to 11. Do you still have room for some volunteers if they want to help? Okay.
We do. If you go to our website, there is a link on our website to either sign up to be a collection site, to make a monetary donation. We'll do the shopping for you. We also have a link to our Amazon wish list. So if you'd like to purchase the items straight from Amazon, have them delivered to our office, that's great too. And then there's also a link to sign up to volunteer at either one of the intake days or at the sort-a-thon on Thursday.
Okay. That Amazon wish list, that you don't have to shop. You can get everything these are items that that are going to be good, and
Yes.
then it's all delivered right to your doorstep,
Yes,
isn't it?
and I'll take it over to Patterson Park and we'll pack them up.
Do you need a UPS truck for all the Amazon stuff sometimes?
Sometimes we do. Yes, it's several trips sometimes.
Get it all packed in there. So we've covered a lot here, Kara, this morning. So I guess a reminder that if you want to participate, you missed maybe a key piece of information, your website, you've got Hometown Huddle all linked up there, right?
We do. We do.
So you can find that at your local uw.org/hometown huddle and be collecting those items. I know you're going to have a couple of grocery store trips here the next few, so add some extra items and help out.
Yeah, that would be great.
Will you have your drop-off locations on there too?
We do have a list of our collection sites on there. So
And still a chance for more.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if it's a public collection site, it's noted on there. If it's public, you can also drop your items off at one of the collection sites as well.
Very good. Kara Carpenter from the United Way joining us today here on News Radio WGNS. Don't forget, check the podcast at WGNSradio.com if you missed any of the info today.
Hello, this is Lenny Farmer with Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home. Often when a man or woman finish pre-planning their funerals with me, I hear, we should have done this 10 years ago.